So this is the new TIP Network, formerly the Happiness Podcast Project.
Mm-hmm.
But here we're going to transform ourselves and we're going to talk about culture, combat sports, and self-improvement.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to give you content at least twice a week, but it could be more, never less.
It'll definitely be more. It's going to end up being ramped up where you might get annoyed, but you got to watch it anyway.
Yes. And we're going to really focus on things that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have a leadership academy. And I want to mentor people and let them learn from some of the mistakes I made, some of the hard mistakes I made, and also really give a stark reality, because a lot of us are walking around sleepwalking.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I can attest that I was a sleepwalker.
Yes.
Till about 25. And to tell you the truth, I was still drowsy during that time period.
I remember you.
Yeah. So 25, definitely sleepwalker. We started waking up. 28, started getting my stuff together. Then by the time, honestly, now I feel like I'm really on my grind, and I'm fucking 35. And it happens like that. It's like life.
Well, as a professional, I didn't really start making and achieving the type of financial success until I was 40 years old. And about 42, I could see it and I grasped it. Now at 47, about to be 48, I'm finally in a position where things are clicking the way I wanted to. And I've just learned a lot of lessons along the way of self-improvement and how to get to that point, how important your network is, how important everything is, and how you are judged immediately. And look, newsflash, everybody, you are judged immediately, whether you're male or female. You are judged on your appearance, how you talk, how you handle yourself. And if you're not putting your best foot forward, you're up shit creek.
There's a reason why this is a social commentary channel on the culture.
Yes. Yes.
So with the show format, did we announce that we're going to do at least 2 videos a week? Yes, we did.
Yes.
Actually, I started remembering that.
But what days are we going to do?
It's going to be on Wednesdays and it's going to be Fridays. Those are going to be the drops.
Yeah. So we're going to help you during your hump day, and we're going to get you into the weekend.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be here constantly.
So the mainstay is culture, pop culture, which will be social commentary.
Yes.
And also, I know we have a lot of MMA fans here.
Yes.
Grover's going to be leading the charge with the combat sports, even though I do look kind of like that. I've done martial arts. I have done it before in the past. I do like it, but I'm going to leave it off to the man that's the expert. That's the coach. And he watches this, he understands the whole mechanics of how to fight, how to get your body in motion.
Well, I'm currently training a couple of people on different levels right now, where somebody who's an amateur who's going to be going in, hoping to go into the professional rank soon.
Nice.
And someone who's a traditional martial artist that I'm helping them with performance management and help them peak their performance at a later stage of life. And so I understand body mechanics. I understand, what to do, how to move, especially in a stand-up format. But I will also have folks who are experts in other things that I'm not an expert in. For instance, I may have somebody who's just great at wrestling, and we may break down a fight where it's wrestling heavy, or what they should be doing in wrestling, or some of the things. I may have somebody who's, far more skilled in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and may break down some of the submissions or submission defenses and what they should be doing. So I'm super excited. I'm excited to do a lot of things. I'm excited to live stream. I'm excited to really reach out and get that network and that community and really give back, because especially as far as martial arts has given me a great amount of satisfaction, stability, and direction in my life. And I want to give back to that community. And it's something that I've spent so much time with that I feel like I have maybe a little more insight than the average person. So that's cool.
Well, that's good. That's good. And it all ties into self-improvement.
Yes.
And so with the self-improvement, with the martial arts, we'll eventually talk about health and what you can do to make your life better by making yourself prepared in case that you need to protect yourself and your family, the kind of mindset that you must have, as well as having actual life skills and knowledge and information so you can better yourself with your financial well-being.
In martial arts, amazingly enough, by training the physical, you start training the mental, and you start training the spiritual. and it just happens that way. And it always led me to believe that those three things, spiritual, mental, and physical, are all symbiotic. They all have to work together. Especially when I started with Japanese martial arts, they always talked about having a still mind and having a virtuous nature. And I'm excited to share some of these experiences, and I'm also excited to really break down the modern fights, because even though it's hard to see, there's a lot of that Bushido mentality, especially in mixed martial arts.
Bushido.
Bushido. And not Bullshido, but Bushido, meaning the way of the warrior, of honor, respect. Mixed martial arts is it's such a dichotomy, because you have people who talk a lot of crap to each other to hype the fight, but at the end, there's a lot of respect between opponents. And
Logan Paul and Mayweather.
Well, that's not mixed martial arts, and but I mean that's two people getting the bag, and I'm also about the money. So if you're gonna get the bag, get the bag. But I would say something like this: Moreno and Figueiredo fought, and Figueiredo lost via rear naked choke, and he's a Brazilian black belt, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and a great practitioner and a savage on the floor. And he was submitted by the first Mexican-born UFC champion. And at the end of it, he held him up on his shoulders and said, "This guy's a champ. The guy who beat him. And let me tell you something, man, you choked me out. I don't want to fucking talk to you." But that just shows that maybe these folks even have a deeper amount of understanding of that culture than I do. So I'm super excited to talk about that. I'm also super excited to talk about self-improvement and the steps I went through from a young man at 16 years old, trying to figure it out, till right now. That process, I think that I have a lot to share, a lot of realities, like your mentors don't have to tell you it nicely. Your mentors just have to tell it to you. And so I'm pretty excited for it.
Well, what I also like about this whole culture, talking about social commentary on the culture and also on combat sports and self-improvement, a lot of it has to do with respect.
Yes.
And respect to other people as well as respect to oneself.
Right.
And so with the TIP Network, the way it's going to all tie in together, we're going to go deeper on some of these martial arts events, because I've noticed, like, you guys really like us when we go into the culture of the fighters.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of respect that needs to be talked about and that needs to be shared. That message needs to be shared of being taken care of business as an individual, as a man, and having the proper respect and showing the proper respect to the people that have brought you to where you are, as well as showing the respect to yourself.
Absolutely.
To improving yourself every day.
And constant self-improvement is the only way. Sometimes I see people and they're doing martial arts at like 75 years old. They're only doing it and they're still getting better. One of the best martial artists in the world, Dan Inosanto, walked in with a white belt at 54 years old and started doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Now has to be 80 years old, and he's a third-degree black belt. John Jacques Machado, third-degree black belt. 100% legit. Bruce Lee's protege. The man. And by the way, the nicest person I've ever spoken to in martial arts, like, and a walking encyclopedia of history. And like I told him, wow, I was really impressed with the way you talked about the black soldiers in the Philippines. And then he stopped the entire seminar and talked about it for a half an hour, because he's like, "Oh, you want to know more, Grover? Here we go." And I'm nobody. And this man didn't know me from a can of paint, but he was excited that what I found value in what the history he was giving, and it humbled me, and it makes me want to give back. And so hopefully I can give some good advice.
This is what I like, is because through the combat sports, we get to see other people's culture. I mean, I didn't really understand Kazakhstan culture.
Right.
I didn't understand how people lived, or that there's certain things you can't say.
I mean, you find out some really truths about people, like, hey, those people from Kazakhstan, they're hard and they're honorable. And look, nobody's 100% good anywhere. Nobody's 100% bad. But I mean, they're like, "Oh, you want to fight? Ha, that's funny. I fight bear."
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So I'm just like, wow. But I'm gonna tell you this: that martial arts attitude of respect really could, man, the world could use it, because I did a talk about the Joe Budden podcast and his lack of leadership. His lack of leadership would not be there if he took martial arts for a big part of his life. He wouldn't have went on air and yelled at us, "Oh, you're fired. You're out of contract." And then has to come back 2 days later. "I apologize for the way I was." You know, it's like.
But I think that's where it goes. He actually improved himself, because when he said that he apologized, and watching him on that one interview, on that one video that you showed me, he actually looked like he was sincere about it, and he didn't. Oh, I wasn't like the Charlemagne the God, towards Kwame Brown, but
Charlemagne's like, "I'm sorry. I don't want your family to kill me." But here's the thing: 360 degrees of accountability.
Yeah,
Joe Budden has done that dozens of times, so he should have knew before that what he was doing, thought about it during, and stopped. It's not just accountability after you fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. And I love the Joe Budden podcast. I'm a huge Joe Budden rap fan. I'm proud of him for coming out of hip hop and doing what he's doing, but absolutely poor leadership. Anyway, man, I'm excited.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
So as always.
Oh, you want me to say, or you?
Go on, man. It's all you.
Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you smash that bell for more notifications. Because we're going to be coming in hot. We're going to be coming in loud. Hot. We're going to have a lot of videos talking about culture, social commentary on culture, as well as combat sports. Maybe deeper analysis on combat sports with your personal coach's corner, Grover, Reese. Wait, am I allowed to say your last name?
Yeah, you can say my last name.
Okay. And then as well as self-improvement, tying it all together.
And so follow us on the gram at I am Gorilla1. And
I can't say my IG name right now because it's too long, so I'm gonna just link it down below. So if you really want to check it, that was so bad. I don't even remember my IG name right now.
And as always, like and subscribe. Also, like and subscribe to Auric Unity.
Auric Unity, where I'll be talking about crypto as well as holistic development, which is a combination of getting you to self-actualize, getting you to your passions and your purpose. But there'll be a lot of crypto talk if you're really into that kind of thing.
So our job on this podcast, on our 2 platforms, is to help you, mentor you, and do everything we can to assist you in being the absolute best that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Self-perfection through self-protection.
I like that.
Word.
So wear a condom. Anyway.
Booty in your face.